Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I don't have a name for the channel just yet. I haven't really thought that far, but today I just wanted to introduce my truck. So this kind of started as like a, I don't know, like a little joke back in Florida when I was racing with the guys over at King Cobra RC. It was kind of, we wondered how well this truck could actually race and perform. It turns out, it kind of surprised us all. And when I left Florida, it kind of became a project of mine to make it race legal and see just how well we could improve this platform. Now, this truck started off as a stock Baja Rey. Let's see. Now, it has been modified considerably. We got rid of the original dynamite motor and ESC set up for a Tekin. You can see a Tekin RX-8 sitting right in the middle there. Oh, dang stand sticking. M3 DRD, by the way, makes awesome stands. Nice shout out for you there. Now, looking here, yes, we have a Tekin Pro4 HD 4300 kV motor. So we're pretty much at the, I wouldn't say we're at the limits of what the class offers, 4x4 short course, but I'm not hurting for power. Let's just say that. I don't remember what gearing I'm on. I want to say I'm on stock, like out of the box gearing so far, and 2-cell lipo. I mean, I'm not hurting for power, so I kind of just left it there since it's not overheating, it's not stressing out at all. Now, the original servo, I didn't like it. It barely could center, and it barely had the strength to push the wheels. So we got a ProTech T100, I believe. It's like a $50 servo. Nothing crazy, but I wanted something that could, you know, actually turn the tires on a race course. Then most of the modifications to make it 4x4 short course legal was the wheelbase. Now, these trucks are way too long for legal racing and 4x4 out of the box. Matter of fact, the axle originally came right about to the end of my tool here. So you can kind of see just how much work we've done. I shortened it about 1.5 inches or so. I don't remember the exact, forgot to take notes about that. But the way we did it, first, I kind of measured where the wheelbase needed to be and how long the rear links would have to be. Here, let's get that in the light a little bit better, maybe. Maybe I might have to get a helping hand here. I need some better lighting in here. So, we got some carbon fiber links from Hot Racing. They're actually meant for the Axial Yeti, but I shortened them up and made some new holes, and it actually brings it to the perfect length that I needed. Next was the drive shaft. If I can get my light in there, I got that drive shaft. I measured up a drive shaft and contacted Super Shafty, and they were able to get me the exact size drive shaft I needed. It's not a drop-in fit. I had to drill the cross pins for the output shafts of the diff up there and the input shaft to the rear diff. Right now I'm kind of using drill bits secured with heat shrink to hold them in. It was press fit. I actually had to use my vise to get them in all the way, but they are not coming out anytime soon. Now, let's see what else. From there is upper links. Right now I've kind of just took some Losi turnbuckles and kind of recycled the old links to make my own adjustable links. They're going to be leaving soon because that one there in the back, I don't know if I can get it with the camera angle, but it's a kind of bent. So I need to change that out for something stronger. I got some Lunsford units on the way. We'll see if we can make them work. And then from there, we had to use that upper arm mount for the axle because the geometry of the upper links in relation to the lower links was a little off. I had no anti-squat, guys, so this was just bucking over the jumps and erratic traction in the back, just kicking out whenever it felt like it. And haven't had any real track time yet to see if that's going to fix it, but from some quick practice runs out in the yard, it seems to do all right. I think I just caught my finger there. Whew, we got a lot to learn between lighting and me getting my hand in the way. Let's get this light out here. They ain't doing us any favors. Okay. So, the other issue I had was, well, in the original body work, the rear hatch section is wide open. Now, of course, that's way too much ventilation for the class, and people would get mad if I left that open. So we took some carbon fiber sheets. I believe they're 2 millimeter thick or 2.5. We made our own. And I epoxied up a nice little vent here. And I recycled the old fuel tank, mounted that in there. That way I could kind of use that for ballast weight if I want to. You know, open it up and put some weight in there. Then, of course, gotta have our scale. So I also recycled the old fans and trimmed out every other vane so that we'd be able to have some airflow. And it's on par with most of the race bodies you see as far as airflow goes. And this is also how I reach my battery. I recycled this, the old tire carrier mount, and lift up, presto, kind of clip fit in the front. You know, like I took this idea from the Max line of trucks, you know, how they just clip in and hold down. That's where I got that idea from. But this way I can still come in here and reach all of my electronics when I need to with the body on. So there it is. That goes on nice and easy, just like that. So quick toolless access to my electronics when I need it. All right. So now, I also had to shorten up the cage section to match. So I cut out all of this section right in here, and we used a link up top to kind of strengthen. I got tied back to the fuel tank area. Just give it some sturdiness so it's not flopping around when it hits a bumper or jump. And we also trimmed the rear bumper area, and that was my solution to shorten it up on the quick and cheap. Just a piece of aluminum, holes, like 4 holes drilled into it, and then just chop and remove the amount of material I needed to get the length I needed and rebolt. Crude, but it works. And it's not really all that noticeable with the body on, to be honest. So I don't mind. What else can I tell you guys about this? Ah, yes. So for the body mounts to work, I kind of just took some scrap metal and just bent it. Again, very crude, but it gets the job done. And that's really all that matters right now with this truck, is just getting the job done, getting it to perform, and then we'll fine tune some of the handiwork. Like, I do want to make this a little bit better. That looks like crap. But I went through the upgrades we do have. Is an SSD from diff carrier, or diff housing. It has a larger bearing on the input shaft. Helps handle the loads better, but also what I found stock was my diff carriers were flexing and causing an inconsistent mesh and just blowing out pinion and output gears. So that was changed, and I did the same thing to the rear axle. Again, it's they upgrade to a larger bearing to handle that input shaft. And then that kind of solved a lot of my issues, and it kind of helps with the strength too, I bet. But I just got it mostly for the bearings. But we have RPM arms up front, and I don't know what your experience may be, but for me, I was having binding issues on my front arms, the front lower arms on the SSD carrier, so I had to kind of trim up the arms a little bit. So now they move nice and free now. And the rear end, she's nice and steady too. And the only movement I have is at the sway bar links, which that needs to be changed to something. See all that movement? I hope this camera's getting it. First time with a GoPro, so hopefully it turns out good, but we have a lot of wobble at the sway bar links, but aside from that, we're nice and solid. Now, I had Proline shocks on this truck. These 5-inch Proline XT shocks for the rear. They were doing all right, I guess. If you're bashing, it'll probably be just fine for you. But and then slash rears. Do I even have this in frame? Yes. Slash rears go on the front of the truck, not slash fronts. I made that mistake once. They're too short. Slash rears, guys. Slash rears for the front. 5-inch XTs on back. And you know, I got spring package with them and the M2C pistons, I believe, but I just couldn't get the combo I needed to get this truck to perform, I think. And that's where this next step for me comes. Pretty excited about this because I found this on eBay. Brand new pack, unopened pack of shocks. Never opened, guys. NB 48.4 shocks. I sized them up, or I have an NB 48 2.0 on the shelf behind me, and I mocked those shocks up on this truck, and it looks like it will do the trick. So I'm going to build these, and we'll put them on the truck and see how she goes. Okay, guys. Hey, y'all are probably thinking I'm a madman right about now, and you're probably right. A little bit masochistic, maybe? That's all where the fun is in this hobby, though. Imagination's the limit. And the shocks went together nicely. Had a little bit of hiccups. I was brain dead on a few spots, and I probably should wait for the air bubbles to come out, but that's okay. I'm not very confident this is going to be the right oil package to go with. I'm running 675 weight in the rear and some 725 in the front. Some PT Racing shock oil. I'm just taking a stab in the dark. For the NB48.4, I believe they wanted like 550 in the front and like 450 in the rear, but well, this ain't no NB48. So unfortunately, I don't have a setup sheet that I can go off of like some of these racers out there. This is all kind of a stab in the dark. So we'll just start there, and if we need to go lighter, we can. If we need to go heavier, we can. I mean, why not? Now, I have to get a little creative on the upper mounts here. Longer bolts for sure, and some spacers to clear it away from the arm. Or I can even just make some, I can clearance that tower a little. But I took the upper mount holes from a Savage, and they actually work all right. The bushings, I mean, like the plastic inserts that go in the cap, they seem to be tight enough. I always like a little tiny bit of play. I mean, it's off-road. If it's too tight, then it binds and causes weirdness. I'd rather have it just a slight bit loose than a little too tight. And then in the back, no problems at all. The original lower ball links that came with these shocks, perfect. Perfecto. And I think these, oh yeah, they're going to work a lot better. And these are just the standard springs they came with. It looks like they gave me orange, I want to say, in the rear, and dark blue springs. Oh, where'd I hide the colors here? Actually, that might be black. They gave me black spring up front. So, I mean, Techno, they offer a lot of different spring rates. I'm sure I'll be able to find a spring rate to suit the corners of this truck. She ain't light, but again, the suspension geometry is different to what you normally see out there. So we're going to have some fun trying to get her dialed in, but I think this is going to be a great start. So let me know in the comment section below if you have any ideas to make this better. Like, I am generally not that great when it comes to a 4-link rear suspension as far as tuning goes. So if you know any design theory, feel free to leave a comment below. If there's anything else you want to see about this truck that I may have missed, because again, this is actually, I don't think I mentioned it. I've never done a YouTube video like this, so this is a first for me. Not used to talking to someone that's not here physically with me, so please let me know how I can improve, and we'll go from there. Hopefully I can get some running video for you guys shortly once I figure out that problem there. But aside from that, I think we're good to go. I'll catch you guys later.